All right, guys, I'm going to go over the results in the discussion section for your lab reports to make sure you all get these done properly. All right, it's a little bit more lengthy than our other lab reports, but you guys will be fine. All right, you're going to need 2 figures, a table, and then a couple of equations. So for part 1, this is the first figure. This is the graph that you will get from the Excel sheet that's linked in Blackboard. So it's in this lab. Open up the Excel sheet. Paul made this for you guys to make life a lot easier, so be thankful for that. And when you open this up, the top left side, this has workload and heart rate and then stage. For warm-up, you guys will just keep that the same as far as workload. Everybody's warm-up workload is 150, and then heart rate is whatever you got heart rate to be. For these two, you are putting the 2 stages that you got steady state heart rate in. So if that was stage 1 and 2, then that's what you'll put. If that was stage 2 and 3, then you'll put 2 and 3. Okay. For workload, make sure you get this right. So it is kgm per minute, and you'll find that on table 1 in your lab. So that table that shows you all of the workloads based on heart rate that I talked about in the first video, right above the load for each category, it has the kgm per minute. So if you look at the table, for example, stage 2 for the 80 to 89 heart rate category, the load is 2, but the workload that you would use for the graph is 600 kgm per minute. All right, so make sure you guys get that right. Once you put that in, you just put the corresponding heart rate with that stage, and then you're good. It will automatically make the graph for you. It'll put the equation and everything on there. All you need to do is copy and paste that into your lab, and then you're good for part 1. All right, figure labels on the bottom, just a reminder. Question 2, calculating the predicted max work rate. All right, so it has the example calculation there. You're going to use the equation that's on your graph. So don't use the one that's on here. Use the one that is on your graph. You're going to plug in that age predicted heart rate max for y. So instead of y equals 0.1x plus 85 in the example, you would plug in the 180 for y, okay, that age predicted heart rate max for y. You run it through the equation, do your algebra, all right, solve for x. And then that's going to give you your predicted max work rate. From there, you're going to use that number, plug it into the VO2 max predictor equation in question number 3, exactly like this calculation example, except of course use your own numbers, and then you'll be good there. All right, make sure that you show those calculations for each part. Part 4, create a table summarizing the 6 participants' systolic and diastolic blood pressures at rest and during each stage. So the example here, very pretty. You are essentially going to take the table that we put on the board and then post on Blackboard, and then you'll recreate that in Excel. All right, so ideally it would look just like this. All you need to do is recreate it in Excel, make sure everything's labeled nicely, and then you guys will have to do the average and standard deviation. If you guys are struggling with that or you've never done that before, open up the average and standard deviation tutorial document on Blackboard. It's got pictures for you guys and instructions, and it walks you through pretty much exactly how to do that for a column. You'll just do that for each column of your table, and then you'll have those done. All right, copy and paste that into here. Make sure you label that properly with the table label on top, and then you're good to go there. Question number 5. All right, this is the second figure. This is average systolic and diastolic blood pressures at rest and during exercise, or at rest and during exercise, yeah, for each stage. So the example looks very nice. To do that, if you guys are not familiar, open up the BP graph video doc, and then there's a YouTube video link in there where Paul will take you through exactly how to do that. All right, it's a video, and it walks you exactly through everything. Make sure it's labeled on both axes. Make sure it's got a legend on the side and a title on the top. Figure labels, again, go on the bottom. Your discussion questions. All right, so question number 1, what is the participant's normal physical activity level? And then there's plenty of questions that go along with that after. This is really just getting a background on your partner. I would ask them while you are with them in lab to make your life a lot easier. But if not, you can contact them however is easiest for you. If you don't have their number or some form of contact, this would be a good time to get it. All right. Question number 2, what is the participants' percent ranking for VO2 max? So you're going to take that VO2 max prediction that you got in question 3 or part 3 on this, and then look at that number, compare their age and sex to that number with the table below. All right. The table at the very bottom of your lab report. Make sure that you look at the right table. Men are on top, women are on the bottom table. And then you're just matching it up, finding the percent. Does it seem reasonable? So think about number 1, think about their background. Are they very aerobically fit? Do they do a lot of cardiovascular exercise? Maybe they do a lot of resistance training, but they always skip cardio. Okay, it's understandable, but that could also explain maybe why their VO2 max is just average for a fit person and not extremely high. Something like that. Right? Some kind of logic that could explain why they are where they are. And then question 3, what is VO2 max? This doesn't need to be a paragraph, and I don't need this to be a research essay on VO2 max, but give me something or give me some good detail on what it is, and then tell me why that matters, okay? Data collection sheets, and then you're good. All right, so that explains pretty much everything in your results section. The table that you guys are using is going to be posted on Blackboard. All right, so we will make that in lab, likely during the morning group. Hopefully we can get everybody's data on there for that, and then that'll make everybody's life easier. We'll get that posted, and you guys will be good to go to make your report.